Yo, what is up? This is Pearl River. We are back in the CS-59. This is the tier 9 version of the Tech 3 Polish medium tank. We are in Pearl River and we're going to explore the other side of the map, the west side of the map. Now this tank is going to cost you 411,000 free XP. If you're going to free XP this all the way from the tier 5. Now if you're here for the first time, consider subscribing and giving this video a like. This is the best way you can help support my channel. Also remember to leave a comment in the comment section below. This is where wargaming and all the wargaming staff will pick up your suggestions and comments from. Now we are crossing the bridge and getting onto the western side of the map, which I've never been to since the last video on Pearl River, which was in the E100 on the eastern side of the map. I'm following these three guys here, the three ELC events. Now you notice that I not put up the stats against any other tank. That's because I feel like there is no other tank like this tank, and you know what, that is actually a good thing. This tank 1800 hit points, which is 100 more than a Leopard PTA. Now this tank is a cross between a Leopard PTA, a Patton, a Standard B, and even a Kampfpanzer 50T. And why do I say this? This tank has 390 alpha, quite high alpha gun. In fact, it's the same alpha as a Patton, but of course not as much as a Leopard PTA. The average penetration is 252 on the standard shells, but on premium shells you are getting 293 penetration, which is pretty good for a tier 9 tank. I mean, it's not bad at all. Of course, 8.44 seconds reload. This is a whole 2 seconds quicker reload than a PTA, around the same reload time as a Patton. What else can we have here? 9 degrees of gun depression. You see me making a lot of those shots there because of that 293 penetration. I am trying to max out my damage output, and also using my 9 degrees of gun depression here to work this new area. Looks like paddy fields or something. Really interesting part of the map. I like the way they've done this part of the map because it has opened up a whole new area for you to play. It is really wide open instead of narrow corridors, but I feel like there is maybe a slight advantage to my side. As you can see, there is a lot more places for us to hull down and create crossfire, while the enemy only has like 1 or 2 positions and they have to poke up to shoot at us. They need gun depression, they need to expose their hull, while we don't have to expose too much. So I feel like there's a little bit more of an advantage to the southern side of the spawn. If you take up this position with a gun depressed kind of tank, you can really dominate this position, and then that's exactly what I'm doing. Look at how much damage I'm already racking up just playing this position. But I don't know, let's see what happens as the game as this map progresses in the next couple of months. Anyway, let's get back to the aim time of this tank. 2.4 seconds. The aim time not as quick as a Leopard PTA, which is 1.82 seconds, and a Patton 1.92 seconds. 2.4 seconds. You're talking about aim time like a Standard B. And Standard B does not have great aim time, right? Dispersion as well at 0.36. 0.36, you can't beat the Leopard PTA. Leopard PTA is 0.3. So 0.36 dispersion is in between the Patton and the Standard B and Patton. 0.35, 0.37 in that wheelhouse. You're talking not great dispersion, but not bad either. Nothing you can't work with. Aim time 2.4 seconds is not that bad, right? With this kind of dispersion, it is workable, it is manageable. Now let's not talk about armor because there is no armor, but certainly more armor than a PTA. 110 on the hull armor, 130 on the turret armor. You can't really bounce anything, but when you are angled like I have there, I think you saw me bounce like 1000 worth of hit points, but I think that is more because I was extremely angled, and also people are not used to this tank yet. They don't really know how to shoot this tank yet. I think eventually when this thing goes live, a lot of people will know how to penetrate and destroy this tank pretty easily. So don't depend on the armor. Do I like this tank? Yes, I do. I do like this tank. Why? Because it is not like the PTA, it is not like the Pattern, it is not like the Standard B, it is not like the Kampfpanzer 50T. It is a tank on its own. It's got its own characteristics. It takes a little bit out of every tank, which I like, which means that you're not directly competing with any other tank out there, which makes this tank highly collectible and highly desirable. I'm not playing a carbon copy, or I'm not playing you know, a same version of a different nation. So that's what I like about this tank, and I think that's gonna make this tank kind of special. Mobility wise, you are talking about mobility, the speed like a Pattern, but it has a little bit more agility, and you're going to see me use that agility here pretty soon. I'm going to bum rush that VK, and I'm going to try and use my agility to outsmart him, whatever. Pen him here, no problem. There's not much I can do here. I had to eat that shot. Now I'm going to pen him in the lower plate and see if I can get away now. Reverse speed really slow, which means I can't really get away. Only 18 kilometers an hour reverse speed, but I'm going to try and hit his cupola there with my standard shells, because my premium shells have run out maybe. And now I am faced with the E75. I bounced that on his lower plate because it was extremely angled, but I am a one shot now. He could ram me and I could die. Let me shoot his front wheel and let me see if I can circle strafe him, auto aim, and I apparently have tracked him long enough that his turret cannot keep up with me as I drive around him. So like I said, we don't have a lot of speed, we don't have a lot of power to weight ratio, but we have enough agility, just enough to do that to an E75. So do I like this tank? Yes, I do. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section below. I think this tank is pretty special. It's not like the greatest tank of all, but it warrants a playthrough because it is a pretty interesting tank to play. It has characteristics from a lot of tanks, a lot of tier 9 tanks, but you know, nothing similar, nothing crazy similar to like a PTA or a Pattern. I got an ace tanker in this game. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is only my second game on the Pearl River, and I'm using standard equipment. You can see a vents, rammer, vertical stabilizer. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one. Bye bye.